What's going on, everybody? We are live for episode something of The Scope, a FPS podcast slash live show slash I don't know where I am.
Episode 58, by the way, just saying.
Thank you. That's why
You're welcome.
Blue's here. He's going to try to keep the wheels on this wagon as we go down the road. Buff and Blue are joining me. What's up, Buff? How you doing, man?
I am good. Not as good as you, though.
That's right.
You look stellar.
Feel good. I got some caffeine. We're good.
That's important.
Do you need some cocaine too?
Dude, I need meth, cocaine, something.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Just the works. Quaaludes. That's a thing.
I live in rural Kansas, so I could probably find something around here.
A lot
around here somewhere. But not that I do it. I look forward to your comments. Blue, what's up, man?
What's up? I'm glad to be back. Just living life. Just answering comments and doing my thing.
I love comments. Comments are great. Have you guys been playing video games or what? Like, I feel like
I know. I've been playing. I just got done playing The Forest yesterday, getting ready for Sons of the Forest coming out here.
I don't even know who that is.
Yeah, I don't know what is this.
The Forest?
Yeah.
No, guys, come on! You're a gaming news podcast. Well,
that's
shooters, I guess, but
we never claimed to be good at this. So
regardless, it's Sons of the Forest is the next game after The Forest, and it's a open world survival game, pretty much. Just kind of wacky a little bit. It's always fun with friends, but it's scary. A lot of weird cannibals and dark caves and. It's interesting. So the next game has been anticipated for a while. It's coming out on the 23rd, actually. So very soon.
Nice. Dude, yeah, we're getting destroyed in the chat, which if you guys didn't know, if you're new to the channel, the chat is combined. We're broadcasting to a couple different channels. It's not a big deal. I mean, we're pretty technologically advanced around here, so don't even worry about it. But chats are combined on the screen. Also, we love you guys chatting it up so it stays on there so when people watch the VODs back, they can see what everybody's saying. Be a part of the show, be a part of what we're talking about. And I'm sorry. I never played The Forest. I'm a bad person. I'm a bad host. But yeah, I guess the big news for me is I'm a dad now. And,
yeah. Woo.
Thanks, guys. Thanks.
Daddy crab.
There it is. Yeah.
You need like baby crying now. Just wah, wah, wah,
oh, just wait. Just wait a minute. I'll open the door and you'll get all that you want. So yeah, man, it's been a wild week, man. It's been a wild week.
Wait, it was your birthday?
Yeah. So yeah, I had a child on the 16th, and we were still in the hospital. We were trying to get out of the hospital on the 18th. On my birthday, so he missed my birthday by like 2 days.
Wow, that's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, so it's
you're gonna remember your birthday.
Yeah, thanks.
Every year now.
Yeah. I understand that I don't get a birthday anymore, which is fine because I'm old enough where I don't like them. So
yeah, you get to a certain age, it's like, you know what, just maybe take me to Texas Roadhouse. I don't really care.
Yeah, just give me some food and maybe a glass or two of bourbon, and I'm pretty happy.
That's it. That's all you need, man.
Vostok, Auntie, thank you so much for the gift, man. Thank you for the €5, dude, and I appreciate the kind words, the congrats from the man himself behind the road to Vostok, of which we are all very much anticipating. Before we went live, we were actually talking about your tweet with the helicopter covering the border zone. With the spotlight looking down on the trees looks
so cool.
Really
good. So thank you for being here, and thank you for the kind super chat, man. You don't got to do that. It's so cool that you're here anyway in the first place. We all love your work.
The winter in that game looks so cool.
The crunch and snow, yeah.
Ah, man.
Yeah, it's good.
Detail. Also, that euro is like $5.10 US dollars, something like that. It's a little bit more. Actually, no, it's a little bit less. Shoot, hold up. I might have it backwards.
Hey, I'm a dumb American and I don't know, so you can tell me whatever you want. Just go with it. Just tell me. I'll be all happy, man.
I think it's like $1 is like 1.10 euros or something like that. 1.10. I don't know.
But
regardless,
Yeah, that's sweet. Oh, actually, it tells me it's $5.34. It tells me YouTube does.
Okay, I was coming
That's
20 cents off.
incredible.
Not bad, not bad.
Holy, that's going right in the chicken nugget fund. I love it.
Ooh.
So yeah, that it's just been wild, man. So I probably have like, I'm gonna guess somewhere in the neighborhood of 2 to 4 hours of sleep in the last 48 hours. He came out. I put it on the ticker, but he was big. He was over. He was over 9 pounds. Well over 9 pounds, and he was a big kid. And he didn't come out the traditional way, so it was a long process. Let's say, and he finally had to come out with C-section. So the wife's not feeling the greatest. So I'm kind of getting going on. I see typos in the ticker already. It's great. It's fine.
It's allowed. It is completely allowed.
So you
It's,
guys,
yeah, for sure.
so essentially, just get ready for a lot of this. Oh, what I was gonna say was, and then it's gonna be gone because I'm running on.
Well, that's just because we're old.
Yeah, I'm running on autopilot. Oh, I got it. I'm comboed over here. I'm old and tired. So I mean, it's just we got a full schedule today. Max, mod for the channel. Thank you for the member support, man. I really appreciate you, dude. Thanks for
Nice.
modding. And you know what? We haven't seen around here in quite a while. Russian sex bots. You know why? Mad Max kicking them out. So he's good. He's keeping him out of here. So yeah, I haven't played too much. I did get to play a tiny bit of XDefiant, which will be cool to check out or talk about.
Whoa, there it goes.
Yeah,
Strike one.
already there he goes. So I might just have to maybe I'll just take a nap and like I'll just sleep here and you guys just do the show.
We'll just
It'll
talk.
probably be better. Yeah.
Just the sleeping stream.
They do that. Do you know they do that?
It is weird, bro. And literally, the title of the streams is "I'm only sleeping." That's literally what's the title, and it's a whole category for that, dude.
People just watching you sleep. That's so weird.
Watching you sleep, but then they'll put like, oh, if you donate, $1,000 or whatever, it's like $1,000, and it'd be like the loudest alarm in the world just to wake you up. Just some dumb stuff, dude.
How could you
So
even?
Weird.
How could you even?
I could not,
knowing
dude.
people
Imagine, dude.
watching you?
I barely, like I make sure all my laptops are closed, my phone's opposite way. I don't want no cameras looking at me when I'm sleeping.
Dude, I would look great with my CPAP on my nose.
And a machine going in the background.
All these zoomers are like, "What's that?" Yeah, sweet.
You'll find out later, son.
That's right. Get your big old neck on you that caves in when you sleep, and you'll find out. So, yeah, I guess we could talk about shooting video games with guns and stuff, firearms. Careful, can't. We're banned. Shut it off.
They recently changed some of the policies around that.
Did they really? I missed that.
Yeah, they
Like
apparently. So I know like Demolition Ranch made a video on it about. It was a quick kind of snippet in his video, but it was like, yeah, they apparently talked to some of the bigger gun tubers and realized that some of the things they said were kind of stupid. Like, and inserting a 30-round magazine is no longer, you can show that again.
Oh, wow. That makes sense. I just want to know who approved it to begin with. Who was like, yeah, inserting a 30-round magazine, no good. 50-round drum, fine with us.
Or like, what was it? What was like 30 rounds or more? So even 50 rounds would have been.
Oh, really? Okay.
Would be limited, yeah. Or like screwing on a silencer or modifying the weapon in any way. And they thought 30 rounds was modification. So
can you still show? No. Can you now show like putting on?
You can show yourself. Like he put it. At least he did, and he was showcasing himself. Screwing on a silencer. So
nice. Okay.
Thank God for that, because now we got games like Vostok with weapon attachment systems, and God forbid YouTube was like, no, you can't show that. Nah, it's weapon modification.
Call of Duty as a whole would have been destroyed by that. If they'd
gun games in general.
Yeah, any FPS done.
So, but you still can't curse. Well, at least in the first it was 15 seconds or something like that.
Yeah.
Has it been more than that?
We should try that one week. Just start out like just before we say anything, just a giant F word and hold it for like 5 seconds, and see if what it does. Just right off the bat, no context, nothing. Just hit
it. Oh man,
that would be sweet. I was imagining that when you guys were talking about that, like the 30-round mag thing, and I said it back then too. It's like, what if I loaded my clip in my 458 SOCOM because it's the same size as a 5.56 30-round mag, but it only holds 10.
Yeah, what if I just like load?
Rounds.
Yeah, what if I just load 5 rounds in a magazine, but then load a 30 round?
It only holds 10. It only holds.
But it's
10.
the size of. Oh wait, because this is a different caliber. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
4.58 still fits in.
It's huge.
Mag.
Yeah, it fits in. It's kind of like
and this is 4.58.
Yeah, so that's so funny.
I don't know why I have them here, but I do. So.
But it's just single stack. Anyways.
Yeah. I can imagine trying to explain that to somebody at YouTube. Like, it's not a 30-round mag because, that wouldn't be nice.
Dude, the bullet goes in here, and then smoke and magic come out on the other side.
That's how you deposit your freedom seeds out into the world. All right, we're banned again. Canceled. Okay, so.
Canceled.
Yeah, hashtag canceled. I need a sound effect for that. Canceled.
No, instead of like a message.
you guys want
no
to
one's
talk
gonna
about
get. I mean, some people might get that.
I would.
Let's talk about COD.
I'm to talk about some COD.
Blue's itching to talk about COD, man.
All right, I'm just ready to talk, man.
I just want to talk. So yeah, I figured this would be a good time. We're gonna lump everything up. The production team was a disaster and did not appropriately put everything in the topics. So,
and just when I was giving them praise,
don't do that. So that leaves a lot of mystery in the topics ahead. So you guys are gonna want to stay tuned and see what we actually talk about. Because I could have pulled a bait and switch. You never know what's gonna happen out here. So anyway, there was an Activision COD leak that we'll definitely get into some of the aspects and things that were leaked, but essentially. Someone broke in and hacked into an HR person's computer in Activision and was able to get a bunch of details on even the next Call of Duty, like when alphas and betas and stuff are going to be. So we'll do that. And then, but I wanted to kind of lump this in here since it's COD related about everyone's kind of thoughts on Season 2. I did get to play a few rounds of the new Resurgence map. I don't want to pronounce it wrong, so I'm probably just going to call it the Resurgence map.
I think it's pronounced Ashka, but I could be completely blowing that too, so I don't know.
Well, if I had a production person, I would tell them to look it up. But I'm just gonna call it the Resurgence map. But it seems pretty cool. It was good to see Resurgence back. Buff, since you're the resident DMC,
Ashika.
What do you think?
Ashika, I don't know.
I've
been calling it Ashka,
so.
But
Ashika. Yeah.
No, I really like it. I'll be
Ashika. It is Ashika. Yeah.
Is it okay? I'll be fully well. I prefer my way better. So
you do you, man.
Yeah, right.
He looks forward to your comments.
Yeah, I do. I haven't played any Resurgence whatsoever. I've just been multiplayer on the new map, like the new maps, the playlist for Season 2, and mainly DMZ. So that's my haven't played any Warzone period.
All right. Well, there you go.
I'm loving it. I'm having a great time with it, honestly. So
okay, so now if you guys have time, we'll do some chat Q&A.
Yeah.
To be honest, man, I'm kind of on the same boat. I mean, Warzone is just Warzone still. At the end of the day, in my opinion, I'm probably the wrong person to talk about this because I've just never been a fan of battle royales in general. You know, but seeing the lack of content, especially for the multiplayer side.
Right.
Yeah, everything we talked about that last time I was on. Just come on, my guys. Like, I mean, what they got a cool guy with swords now, I guess. You know, so you got swords in a modern shooter game.
This is gonna look professional, like we rehearsed it. But to be honest with you, I was gonna talk about that. So apparently, Bobby Kotick, whatever, the CEO of Activision, watches our show. I'm assuming allegedly this is how this happened, and heard us complaining about the lack of content for multiplayer, and they actually took a map that they were going to release later and pushed pushed it up, and this is a brand new map on the screen right now. That man, we're ready for this, and
that pool looks amazing.
Get in the water, yeah, works good, swimming around, and so this is what we need. I mean, this is like a little bit of what we need, but we need a lot more. But Bobby, if you're listening, you're on the right track. Just quadruple your output, and we'll be vibing.
Did they say this was the mid-season or the Reloaded, or was this season 3 that this was going to come? I forgot.
I think they said this season in the Reloaded update. So they pushed it clear up. It wasn't even on the thing, and it was Charlie Intel reported that it was because of feedback from the community about how it was really.
So they listened.
Kind of, yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah.
They did the best they could.
Basically, they took the spigot that they used to drip feed the content, and they cranked it just a little bit more.
Instead of 2 drips, instead of 1 drip, it was 2 drips.
Yeah, we'll just let 1 more map drip out of that thing, and you guys should be happy. So, man, it's great now. Everybody loves it. So that's good. Going to get a little bit more content, but I totally get what you guys mean. I'm kind of over BRs too, especially the traditional way. But with the right group of friends, I really do enjoy Resurgence a little bit because
I mean, then again, everything is better with friends, right?
Well, true. I don't play very many games solo, if any, but I still enjoy playing Resurgence mode. I think it's cool. It takes a lot of the crappy part out of BRs, like the first part where you load in and drop, and like that mid game lull where the circle's still really big and you're waiting, you're not seeing anybody, and then if you die and you lose your gulag, then you sit there and you watch your teammates try to bring you back, and you're not doing anything.
I'm not a fan of that at all, man.
Yeah, I can't stand that really either. Yeah. And the Resurgence mode gets rid of all that stuff, and I think a lot of
what does that do? So what does it do exactly?
So like if you're in a quad,
what makes it different than just playing, Call of Duty normally multiplayer,
So it does turn into a battle royale at the end. So you still kind of play. So me personally, I still play it like a BR. I'm trying to find a good position. I'm trying to read the circle, and then if your team, and it's still about survival, because if your whole team gets wiped, you're done.
That's it. Yeah,
but that's the cool thing is if you're playing with people, you're either all in or you're all out. There's nobody spectating, watching your friends play video games while you're out.
So do you just get picked up? I'm guessing, because I haven't really done too much research. I'm guessing there's no.
So it's on a timer. It's on a timer. So you die. It's on a timer. If at least one person in your squad stays alive, then you get a redeploy. Every time you die.
Okay, I've seen that before. Then okay.
Yeah, every time you die, that timer gets longer, so it's kind of a little bit harder to keep them alive.
So you have incentive to stay, to not just like, oh, I went down, okay, I'll respawn later, kind of thing.
Yeah, because then your squad's down a person, and if everybody gets taken out, then you're done. You're out of the game.
You're pretty much done, anyways. Yeah.
So it still becomes survival for the teammates that are left to survive long enough to get you back, and It just, I don't know. It's just fun because it's either all in or all. Then in like the final 2 or 3 circles, the Resurgence shuts off, and then it's for the last few teams. It's a traditional BR where you're out.
Okay.
So,
okay.
I like it quite a bit. It makes the beginning game quite a bit more fun, but it does get like people play it a little TDM like at the beginning with the respawn mode sometimes, and
that's what it gets sweaty. That's always the biggest issue for me with battle royales is the starting off and the RNG within battle royales. So I feel like that might help with that situation.
It helps with that, and it's just my biggest thing is like as a squad, you're either all in the game or you're all out and looking for another game together. Like no one's sitting there. Like PUBG is the worst, dude. There's no way to get anyone back, and this games last like 45 minutes. So if you die early,
and that's what I didn't like about that's what when was Apex brought in the whole like original respawn system. And that's I was like, okay, finally now there's a little bit more reason for people like me to kind of play. But.
Yes, Buff, how's the DMZ on the new map?
It's actually like really, really fun. Been played a lot. We did a stream Friday, and then I played like all day yesterday and today. I did a stream Saturday. So we did all day on and off all day yesterday and today. It plays really good because apparently it's foggier in DMZ is what people were saying. So it's like
the visibility is a bit lower.
Visibility is not very great. Like as far as clarity goes, you can maybe see pretty clear. I want to say like 50 meters, and even then it's still like you still have a lot of fog. So like thermals, things like that are good, but also it's not overpowered from my experience so far. But I think the map just plays really good. I think they nailed the layout of it. The POIs, everything like that, the buildings, the extracts, there's juggernauts on the map too that that like one tap you, and the PvP's been awesome because it's a smaller map. I'm not sure if they changed up like the spawns after the first day or two or not, or maybe the amount of players that are on the map, because it seems like the first day or two I was playing it there, we were just like pushing in, and we run into one team, and then like there'd be like 3 other teams all on top of each other just fighting. So it seems like it's scaled back a little bit, or maybe we just kind of people know where they're going now. But yeah, the PvP is so fun. I'm having a blast with the DMZ map. Yeah, I just call it DMZ now. I'm just like that's literally that, and multiplayer. I really enjoyed multiplayer level with the weapons, but DMZ, especially on that new map, is so fun.
Do you foresee yourself playing mostly that map going forward, unless you have to do a quest on the other?
No. I mean, we ran Al Mazrah mainly for missions and stuff, but also like to loot up. I think for right now though, I've been playing mostly that just because the PvP is so good. And it just, it's a different. You're in different types of engagements. For some, Mazrah is more open, visibility is pretty clear. So you can benefit more from like snipers, long range type meta. This map, I feel like it's kind of the same thing as what it would be like within the Resurgence Battle Royale mode. Is like you can get away with more stuff, and it almost favors maybe better players in the close quarters for sure. But I still really enjoy building 21 on Al Mazrah, but it's mainly I feel like everyone that first week wants to get their hands on the new map more than anything, right?
Yeah, you're gonna find more people.
Yeah.
First couple of days,
and then, but Justin said that you guys get more kills on Al Mazrah still. That's surprising to me. I figured it'd be more PvP on the new map.
I'm not sure. I have to look and see what the team count is per map, but the PvP on Ashka or Ashika, whatever it is definitely it's more I feel like it's more intense, but it's also different because the visibility is so different. So like on Al Mazrah, you can see clearly with a rangefinder or even a distance, okay, that team's engaging like way over there, let's push. Here, like you don't have that visibility. I mean, you can with a thermal or rangefinder, you can still see, but it's not as clear. So you're really kind of going by sound, UAV towers, things like that. So you're not as easily able to push teams, and when you do, I think the likelihood of a third party is a lot more. So I think a lot of those, it definitely, it's a completely different dynamic. I think
that's cool though. More
it is.
Variety,
it plays,
right?
It plays very different, which I like.
That comment, I can't.
I want to try it. Yeah.
Well,
Windows XP.
As
Chica Island.
Yes, Chica Island.
I'll give him one of these.
Yeah.
Oh,
nice.
It made me laugh.
We're all old grown-ups here.
That's right. Yeah. You're never too old to have poop jokes, butt jokes.
Nah, never.
What's the AI like on it? Is there more? Does it feel like more overwhelming, less, or same as Al Mazrah?
Different. I wouldn't say that's a hard one. So I think right now there's a bug on Al Mazrah, unless they fixed it like yesterday or something, but it seems like the AI on Al Mazrah is like ramped up to another level right now. I know there's some bugs that they did say that they're working on with that, so that's definitely a thing. On the new map, you're mainly fighting all Shadow Company, I believe it is, at different levels. So it's the same type of thing. They vary from like no armor to heavily armored. But I feel like the AI probably a little bit more difficult in some situations because a lot of it's close quarters. You can easily kill them pretty quickly, but if you run into a spot where you're around a few of those heavy armored guys, all it takes is 2 or 3 in a room with you, and they could easily down you.
I still don't know how I feel about AI, but I guess you pretty much need it in DMZ. How are the new missions? Like, so did you have 2 or all 3 insurance slots?
I had 2 of my 3. So
how does that
right now
feel? Like, I mean, are you like wanting to do missions or?
Yeah, I mean, I'm doing missions because I want to get to my 3rd slot. And because I haven't been playing El Mazra as much, it feels fine. Because with the 2 slots, if you're running El Mazra, typically you want like an AR and a sniper. So I would when you use both your slots for that, it seems like if you're a good player, you're just gonna dominate any PvP if you're good. On the new map, like I've been mainly, if I'm bringing in both my slots, I'll bring in like the new AR, and then the new shotgun is like I haven't sniped at all since the new map came out. So I think I'm working towards that. The missions,
so you said it's more for close quarters.
Yeah, it's definitely closer quarters for sure. The missions feel good though. I like the rework they did. The new faction crown is good, and I think that's the paid faction where like if you own the game. And the cool thing is that if you want your 3rd insured slot, all you need to do is complete tier 3 of crown versus completing tier 5 of one of the main 3. But it sounds easier. No, I mean that's what you would think, right? But then you look at it, it sounds easier than it is, because some of those missions are actually like you got to get the USB from this area on Ashka Island and then dump it in the dead drop on Building 21, and then take that thing from Building 21 and go back and put it in the city hall at Ashka Island. So like you need to be, there's definitely some tedious things that are they're fun though, right? It's not like annoying stuff. So I like those missions so far. I think we're still on tier 1, I want to say, of Crown, or maybe tier 2, but I do enjoy
gives it more substance.
So yeah, it does. I mean, definitely that's a little bone they're throwing for the people that paid for the game, but it is what it is.
I have another.
It gives you more rewards too, which is good for that new faction.
I have another question, Buff.
Yes,
you may or may not know the answer to this. The tunnels underneath Al Mazra? Is that a spot from the campaign? It looked familiar towards the end, where they stole what's-her-nuts on the jet ski on the boat, and they drove out of the tunnel. Was that from the campaign, or is it a little bit different?
Nah,
it looked familiar when I was down there.
So you mean the tunnels on Al Mazra or the tunnels on the new map?
On the new map with the water underneath.
Yeah, it does look kind of similar now that you say that, and I do really have to go back and play that mission on the campaign again. I'm sure they probably took some elements from there because of the way. Now that you mention it, I'm sure
just the way
it's at least
the way development works.
Kate.
Yeah, I think it's definitely inspired by that. Yeah, when they took Kate Laswell. Yep.
Sorry.
I think it's probably inspired by it, but I only played through that once, so I would need to. I would need to check it out again.
I didn't know if you caught that or if you thought that too, or if it was the same.
It didn't pop into my head until you mentioned it, and I've only been down there underneath that map.
No one cares, Crash. I'm just kidding.
True. No, the only reason I thought of it is because last week Buff actually had a really good idea for once. No, I'm kidding. Buff had a good idea. Buff had a good idea
with the whole campaign maps being kind of used a little bit more.
That for multiplayer and so people could.
I mean, that's how it used to be.
Yeah.
So I thought maybe that was kind of along those lines with that, but.
And they're just lazy developers using the same assets. I'm just kidding.
I don't really care.
Like you said, look forward to seeing the comments, right?
Yeah, that's what you do. Just like the comments are going to be great. I can't wait. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know of anything else with that. I'm going to play a little bit more Resurgence. As far as like the Rebirth on that new map, it feels more hectic to me than Rebirth Island and Fortune's Keep. Like it feels a little tighter. Like you're always fighting. Like it's harder to like rotate and get into spots and positions and play the circle a little bit, because it just feels like there's so many people for that size of map. As the boomer that I am, I would prefer just a couple less squads. But unfortunately, they only let you play quads, which is really dumb. I really would like to try duos and trios and see what the pacing of that feels like. I don't know why they do that.
I wanted to ask, because I mean, you played it, and definitely Chad can weigh in here. The new map, Ashka or Ashika versus like Rebirth. I'm curious what people think of those two maps compared, and then I guess we could even throw Fortune's Keep in there. I haven't, like I said, I haven't played the resurgence on the new map here, but as far as like map design goes, I prefer this map over all of those. Maybe that's just because Rebirth was so played out for me, especially from Black Ops 4's Blackout when they added it. But I'm curious, what you thought, Crash, and what everyone else thought with as far as the resurgence map goes. Ashka versus Rebirth versus Fortune's Keep. What does everyone think of that? How do those rank up, and how does the fighting feel?
I think I'm having a hard time. I don't know if I could rank them yet because I have a little bit of a nostalgia problem. Looking back at the Rebirth Island, I give it probably a little bit more props just because of the fun times I had on there. Kind of when that's what I played a lot of when we were in the Battlefield drought of ending Battlefield 5 support early. I played just a lot of Rebirth and was trying to get that win total up and was doing well and having a lot of fun. So I really like the pacing and stuff at Rebirth Island, and I could just. I got up to like a 30 or 35% win rate on that map with the squad. So we're getting a lot of wins, and it was fun. So I had a lot of fun
every time I played with you, it felt like we just had like a lot of wins. Yeah, it was really good.
You could play it right.
So you are a good player, huh?
Crash is
just holding back.
Crash is pretty good.
Trash can.
Crash might be better than me, but Crash, you weren't afraid to use the. You weren't afraid to use the meta. I'm stuck in my dumb ways where I have to use a tactical looking weapon even if it's garbage.
Yeah,
I
was there with the latest Vanguard meta. Just
I was using some weird ass conglomeration of World War II, whatever. I don't even know what I was shooting.
Alternate reality World War II weapons.
Yeah, it was really weird.
You got the job done.
So I was doing it. Everyone else is doing it, so that makes it okay. All right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say I'm gonna like if I step back and I try to look at it like objectively over like how everything is, I think it's a really well designed map. I think on the surface, I would probably this is probably going to change, but I would say as it sits now, if I try to look at the maps and think of them objectively without the nostalgia, I kind of think that it would go Ash Chica Island, then Rebirth Island, and then Fortune's Keep. I think it's how I would do it. I think that I feel like the Rebirth Island was a little bit flat, and I feel like when they went to Fortune's Keep, there was almost a little bit too much verticality with all the castles, and then on the one side you had all those big craters and the tunnels, and then you had the city on the other side with a bunch of skyscrapers and stuff and towers everywhere. And I feel like that the new one is like a kind of a happy medium. There's enough topography you can move around, but it's not to where you're always having to look up and down all the time. So
it doesn't feel like a bunch of maps just smashed together.
Yeah,
it's almost feels more cohesive.
Yeah, on the Fortune's Keep, it's almost like they just went way too hard into vertical gameplay. It was a little bit wild on that, but I think it's going to be good. I look forward to getting some more time into it. There's a lot of bugs. There's some weird things. It needs more plates. When I played it, dude, you couldn't find plates.
And I think that was a known issue that they either patched or were going to patch.
Okay, because that was that's so frustrating when you can't find plates and you just know you're gonna lose your next gunfight because you don't have plates. Like you can't. And while you're trying to find them and stuff, so hopefully they get that fixed. I want to try ranked a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't want to play those other modes. If you could just play ranked, search and destroy, that's probably what I would do a lot of. But where you have to play the other two COD League CDL game modes, I don't want to play those. I don't. So I don't know how that's going to go. Maybe I'll get into it just to see what it's like. I don't know. It'd be interesting if you can like queue for a match, and then as soon as you get like queued up for a match, it would tell you what the game mode is, and then if it's not S&D, back out real quick until you get. I don't know if you can do that or not, but I might have to try it. Yeah. So anything else before we?
I'm assuming you didn't have a chance to unlock or get time on the new guns, did you?
Not at all. No.
Busy being a dad. Yeah. So I'll just throw it out like the new guns. I think are really. I'm actually very happy with the new guns. You have the the ISO Hemlock, which is the B&T, but we're from it APC 556, the Advanced Police Carbine 556. So that thing's awesome. You can convert it to the APC 300, Chamberlain 300 Blackout. Great gun, feels really good, has a slower rate of fire, and when you switch it to Blackout, it reduces the rate of fire probably around another like 50 rounds per minute. So it's a fun, really, really fun weapon. I've been running that like crazy. A lot of different fun builds with that. They added new attachments in with that gun, so that's good. And the new shotgun, that Vepr 12 semi-automatic. A lot of fun. Level that thing up to you get that 25 round drum, and it's just a lot of fun to like in DMZ like push strongholds with it. And then especially when you get players like rushing in at you, just like douche them to death with that shotgun. It's great.
I might have to give that a go.
Yeah, good guns. And then we got the mid-season, we're getting the SR25, which is going to be really good. So
I like
should
that
be good.
I know you're excited for that one.
Oh man, yeah, I think someone in Infinity Ward must have been watching my Modern Warfare 2019 videos for that one.
They all watch our stuff.
They listened to me with the SR25 and the Zenico AKs are what I wanted, and god damn it, they gave me both. So
yeah, they watch my videos. They watched my videos saying the maps weren't enough. So
yeah, boom.
See,
Bobby was like, "That guy crashed. Said we don't have enough maps. Well, show him.
Give him one more.
Yeah,
we'll show him.
He thinks he's better than me.
We'll show him. We're gonna make him look so stupid." Yeah. So, but anyway, I'm gonna get a little bit more time on that, and then the next thing I wanted to talk about was XDefiant. I know we've talked about that a little bit. They had a big play test. Did either one of you guys get in on the play test or check it out?
No.
Justin shot me over a beta invite, and I signed the NDA and everything like that, and I meant to play it, and then I just, I got onto DMZ and I didn't get off all weekend. So,
well, there is a decent chance that it didn't let you play.
Oh no!
Really?
They had an Xbox bug that they couldn't get sorted out by the time.
No.
By the time that was over, so that was a little bit of a bummer. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about it. Just did you get any time with it, Blue, or not make it?
No. I didn't get a chance to play it.
You're less than thrilled with the idea of this game, probably.
I mean, they got rid of Tom Clancy. That's cool.
Yeah.
Thanks for that. I appreciate it. I mean, to be honest, it looks like a decently fun game. In all honesty, it's not like it doesn't really look like anything super negative about it. It's it was just for me was the whole just get rid of the Tom Clancy name. Boom. I was pretty much happy with that. I know some people might disagree with that, but you know what? Who cares? It looks fun. I'm not gonna sit here and say it doesn't look fun. Looks like what's the price going to be?
Free.
Coming out. It's free. Okay, well, see, I haven't even done that much research on it. So yeah, for a free title, I said go for it if you get the time. It's just in what state with that happened at Xbox, but is it XDefiant's fault or is it Microsoft's fault?
It's probably got to be theirs. So this was their very first console test. So all their tests up into this point have been PC. This was the first one to bring in console and bring in crossplay.
Because then let's see how it launches. I think because games nowadays are notorious for just not working day one. So if they're already having issues with crossplay, I don't know. It's the future is uncertain for sure because gamers nowadays they do not give it's hard to get second chances.
Right, and that dude, exactly where I was going with this. This is all about a second chance. What I want to talk about is that many people shared your sentiment. I don't know if you guys can see on the trailer. Probably not. I'll try to zoom in here. Like the likes to dislikes. So there on the reveal trailer when it was Tom Clancy, there were 15,000 likes and 33,000 dislikes. So
yeah, man,
this game is like 100% going after second chances, right? That's what it's going to be, and that often doesn't happen. And then, so along those lines, how I wanted to go about this is like, this is perfect. Mark Rubin, who is the lead designer, he's in charge of the studio and the team making this, has been incredibly humble and transparent on Twitter. And I don't know.
Awesome.
So there aren't probably most of the casual people that are just going to see this as a free to play game, check it out. Probably don't follow him on Twitter, right? And so there could be a large section of players that aren't even going to get these things. But for like kind of more players, hardcore players or fans that are in the know and check this stuff out, some of the things that he said are really cool and honestly really refreshing. So I wanted to talk about some of those tweets, and then I can get your guys' take on that, and then I can talk a little bit about my experience playing it, because I did double check the NDA, and you can talk about it and talk about the play. You just can't show anything yet. So I went back and checked that out. So yeah, in the first thing, and I've seen so many FPS games with hit reg issues, and they never say anything about it. So I wanted to start out with this one where he just calls it like he sees it. He calls a spade a spade. Mark says, to further the spirit of transparency that I have promised with this game, I want to talk about the current state of hit reg. You may have noticed that you're getting killed around corners a lot. This is a known issue. We have a lot of new code going in that should significantly improve this issue. Trust me, it's one of our number one tasks right now, but I just wanted to address it even though there won't be any changes for this test. So
that's amazing
transparency. I like it.
People, seriously, why they need to take, people need to take more direction just like that.
And it turned me, so the second chance worked on me, not necessarily because
but that's because you're following the game, right, checking social media. The casual gamer, well, they're just gonna look at the first trailer and then just brush it off. You know what, I'll keep playing my Call of Duties, my whatever, again.
And exactly. And so this might not be a title for me necessarily. I'm not super excited about the art style. Some of the game modes that they chose to go with, I'm not really super into. But now I'm just like rooting for it on the outside to succeed, so more people take this transparent stance, right? So, and I don't even think I got all of them, but I just try to get. Go ahead.
Well, no, because like if it succeeds in that second chance, then hopefully more companies will be like, oh, so you're saying if we're transparent and we engage with the community, we can save bad titles?
Exactly.
Absolutely, right?
Yeah, and Battlefield
that would just be a win for the industry in general.
Exactly, because that's what we've always wanted. It's more transparency. Battlefield's starting to do a little bit with the podcast too. So he says here, honest take. XDefiant is being made by, this is from Mark Rubin again, made by a small team inside Ubisoft, and we don't have the big money that other FPS in this space has, or the number of people and an engine that has been making that game for 20 years. Wonder what he's talking about. We won't beat them at production value, but we are here trying to make a game that is just focused on being fun. We want to make a game that loves our community and that our community loves. We want to listen and be transparent about what we are doing and what we can do. We humbly hope that you have a great time playing our game. So he's just admitting, like,
Mark Rubin, dude.
Yeah. He's admitting
and
that
he's
we're not
responding to comments and.
Yeah, he's answered a couple of my tweets too. I'm gonna try to, in the next few days, I'm gonna try to compose the perfect tweet to tell him that he needs a bomb defuse mode like S&D, please. And then I will probably
just bring him onto the show. That's all we got to do.
No kidding. Come on the program. Let's see, what else did he say? He said a lot of stuff like this. So and this is to add on, if you guys are new around the show, we've been talking about this for a little bit, because he was also very vocal about saying that his game won't have a BR. He's tired of hearing that games need BRs to succeed. This game won't have that. He also took a really good stance with skill-based matchmaking. He said there will be no skill-based matchmaking in the casual modes. That belongs in ranked, so this will have a ranked mode. He talked about and in this, how they're going to do crossplay. He said, I've noticed a few people talking about crossplay, thinking that what you are seeing in this test is how it would be live. It won't be the same. He said, live will have input-based matchmaking. Thank you. And a way to choose no crossplay, console only.
Live will have input-based matchmaking?
Yeah. So what that does is
Oh, so like PCs with PC, console with console.
Not necessarily. So if you're playing keyboard and mouse on console, it will put you with people playing
the
keyboard
PC
and mouse
players
on PC too. Or if someone's playing control, like a lot of Call of Duty people play controllers on PC, and so in that it would put them with the console players. And if you plug your mouse in the console, it's based on
what if it's a, because like I always see that as that's a good thing, but also what if you were playing with a friend that's on Xbox and you're using your PC and he's on controller? Now
you're good. So
where it is
more than likely, if it's like it has been on other games in the past, it will put you, there will be kind of matchmaking pools. It will put you in a cross-play match. You can still play together, but if you're all playing, it will prioritize input base first. But if you're in a mixed party, it will put you in with other mixed parties.
Got it. So you know what you're getting yourself into.
Right. But if all your friends are playing on controller, it will put you with other controller players. If all your friends are mouse and key, it will put you with mouse and key players.
Yeah. And I see kind of like everyone getting riled up about like different Ubisoft titles. But and again, this might, and I understand where you're coming from, Crash, because like again, I might not like play it myself, but if this does well, then those other titles that you might want comebacks to Wildlands and Division 3 and stuff like that, they will hopefully see this as the path going forward.
Right.
Yeah. Yep.
So we want this game to succeed, because again, if they are being this transparent, oh, my mic's about to fall, then that's a good thing.
Technical difficulty.
Just gotta tighten it up.
But yeah, so this guy was an executive producer on COD back in the older Modern Warfare days, right?
Yep.
And
like
so,
Modern Warfare, like back in
the original trilogy there.
Original OG. Yeah. Okay, all right.
So what he's saying here is like, so the Xbox, he personally felt bad that the Xbox was crashing a lot. So he said, if anyone wants to switch to a different platform, message me directly on Discord and I'll try to get you a code. Like the executive producer is like,
wait, what?
Yeah.
Like, hey, just message me on Discord.
Yeah. DM
no
me on Discord.
way, dude.
Yeah,
that's
so
awesome.
like he's like, dude, he's like,
I feel like it's a little bit too transparent in my opinion, but I mean, because think about all the messages he's gonna get. But wow,
I just picture like the king is leaving the castle and going out amongst the peasants, right? Like trying to
just patting and holding everyone's head and just my people need me.
Yep. So then he talks.
I mean, and this is, I mean, he's an old gen type of guy, because he's, like you said, coming from the days he's coming from. That means a lot.
Yeah, they're trying to stand behind their product. There he is, and I respect that. It's just, man, like that marketing decision.
Can they get the whole team to get like that?
Yeah. Well, they're probably too busy. I don't know if they're too busy or not. I don't know. But that's what that would be the canned answer, PR answer that you would say. But it's just, it's a shame they gave themselves this hole to dig out of, right? With putting Tom Clancy name on it and making it look like a COD clone with flashy, crazy colors that doesn't fit within the Tom Clancy space, and they just had a shitty first impression. And I'm afraid and I guess I'll get into my opinions here. I'm afraid with no unique game loop or play style, this game is going to struggle.
It needs something to stand out for sure.
Yes, and the
modes it feels like they're doing everything right.
Yeah, the gunplay felt really cool. The maps were neat. There were already more maps in this alpha playtest than COD has in 6v6. So I mean, there were a ton of maps, and it looked pretty good. The game ran pretty smooth. It's also interesting too, because it feels arcadey like that, but there wasn't a lot of recoil. But to kind of counteract that, there was a longer time to kill. Think more like the Black Ops 3, Black Ops 4 time to kill.
That's what I was gonna ask you. That's what I was gonna ask you, because that's what Justin was saying. He said it felt like a Black Ops Cold War type TTK, and almost like the play style also.
Yeah,
so that's kind of what I want to hear from you. Yeah,
it felt like a Treyarch title. I definitely agree with Justin. It felt,
okay.
And that's why I really want a bomb mode in this. You guys know that I love S&D. I love Rainbow Six Siege. I love that gameplay loop, that tension, the no respawn modes, the strategy, the competition. I love that. And right now, the games that you play like that are incredibly fast time to kill. Rainbow Six Siege has one-shot headshot with any weapon. I would say Modern Warfare 2 is definitely on the fast time to kill in multiplayer side of Call of Duty's in general.
And for me, I personally enjoy more faster time to kills, but that's, everyone's got the different play styles. I don't like, if it's more of a casual arcadey game, yeah, definitely you need longer time to kills. Because I feel like, again, like when it comes to Siege, I don't see Siege as a hardcore tactical shooter, but yeah, it plays like one almost sometimes.
I would argue with you. It depends on what you call hardcore. I would say hardcore.
So I'm thinking on the terms of like, okay, someone brought up like old school Ghost Recon.
Yeah. So about Siege, I would say hardcore, yes. Realistic, definitely not.
Okay, there you go. That's a little bit more. Yeah, so realism.
Yeah,
I like games more based in realism for sure. But again, I don't remember, to be honest, the last unrealistic game that I've played since I was a kid, pretty much. So like everything until now has been rooted in realism in some way, shape, or form. So I think to be honest, I might even give it a shot just to kind of go back to playing some wacky shooter kind of thing,
Yeah, there you go.
You call him Buff out on his Fortnite addiction? Is that what
Blue. If you want to have just say what you want to say, okay?
Say what you want to say. To be honest, I didn't even know you played Fortnite, and I've never played Fortnite.
I don't. It's a running joke.
It's a running joke. Oh, okay, because I've never touched that game till this day. I've somehow avoided all.
Because I'm like all tactical shooters, so everyone on the some of those earlier shooters,
they have a scar.
Would joke. Yeah, right. They would joke like Buff's probably like a closet ranked Fortnite player or something.
Yeah. So the biggest problem with this game, outside of the things they said they're gonna fix, are these game modes. Right? They have Escort, which is like the payload mode in some of the older CODs, and what Overwatch does. It's probably the most unique mode of them all, and then you have Zone Control and Domination and Occupy. I don't remember quite the differences, but Domination is Domination. One of them was like Hardpoint, and the other one is kind of like Control from Modern Warfare 2. I don't remember a lot. I played mostly Escort, and it was pretty cool. The maps are really big and cool. It was like Overwatch quite a bit, but I just think, man, if you did an S&D mode that was ranked, and then there's specialists and things like that, which I think that if you had it to where only one person on a team could essentially draft one of those specialists with the abilities, and take those cooldowns up quite a bit, so it takes a lot longer to earn your ability. So there's more strategy in when to use it. It has more
slows it down a little bit,
but most of the rounds are gunfight based. Right, it's a shooter. You're gunfight based, but sometimes you can make plays off those ults, but it's not going to change.
That's why I'm not a fan of like Valorant or stuff like that.
It would be essentially like that, but more first person, like more traditional FPS, not like the CS:GO crouch don't ADS type with the bloom and everything.
Yeah, you gotta aim lower than the head. I don't know, it's weird.
But like all this stuff is way too much Call of Duty, like Black Ops 3 and 4 with the specialist. It really felt like playing that. But if they put an S&D with a ranked mode, balance some of those abilities around that, they would have something different. They would have something special. They would have a new and updated bomb mode with strategy, replayability, offer a different time to kill from the other ones that are out there, and would actually be something unique. So I hope they do that. I will play it then. I'll probably check it out either way, but I'm just afraid if they don't do something here, if they don't do something different with the modes, no matter how transparent and awesome he's being on Twitter, they're going to have another Hyperscape. It's going to die because it's trying to do Call of Duty without like
without the Call of Duty name.
Call of Duty's already doing it. Don't do Call of Duty. They're already doing it.
You need to do something different. Yeah.
So that was my take on the playtest. I'm just I haven't seen anything that's got me super excited about it, but shout out to Mark, man. He's being so awesome on Twitter about everything and being transparent. It's super cool to see. So the next one was going to have probably Blue carry us on this one. He just made a video about this game if you guys haven't checked it out. This is something definitely worth talking about on the channel because or on the show as a FPS game. This is doing something different, unique. We always like to find these games that are trying to change things and do stuff differently. In a sea of clones and copies with FPS games, this one's definitely that. So, Blue, what is Operation
I'm already nervous.
Doorstop?
I'm already nervous, dude. This
nervous?
is literally it's like walking on nails, dude. Like with the community already.
Well, no one watches the show, so you're fine. Just say whatever.
Oh man, I actually just got me and Fried. I was in his stream, and I was like, "Hey, let's just talk." It's like, "All right, we'll talk," and we started talking about OHD because I would say there's a lot of division between the like tactical gaming niche right now. It's either it's you can't have your own opinion on YouTube anymore. So having people have their own opinion, it's either you're getting, bashed in the comments or other creators are making videos bashing you. So that's it's very interesting. It's very interesting to see different people have different takes. Even like in my comment section, I just posted the video today and it's already blowing up with like comments and views and stuff like, which is great. But at the same time, I'm seeing people with some really weird takes on the game because it's even hard to call it a game. So I guess just to kind of give a little bit more backstory as well too. So like Operation Harsh Doorstop is a game developed by Drakeling Labs, and the leader, basically the owner, the founder of Drakeling Labs is BlueDrake42, the YouTuber. Has been making content for years. I've been following him. In fact, and just kind of a little bit like even more backstory, I probably wouldn't be here right now or making YouTube videos if it wasn't for him. And not because like I took inspiration from him, but I was like at 200 subs one time. A Twitch clip went viral, and someone was like, "You should message." Like it was like Big Fry, Drewski, Karmaka, Blue Drake. I was like, yeah, I'll do it. So I messaged all of them, and Blue Drake was the only one to actually reach back out to me and put me on like some really cool Milsim like team. So that was like, I credit to him. And then I met him in real life. So I got a lot of like connection with him, but it's he probably doesn't even remember who I am anyways. But then the game has been in development for 4 years, I think, and gosh, like I didn't cover it myself because I just didn't really feel like it was ready to cover, and I still felt like it wasn't ready to come out the oven now. So a lot of people, they say it's an alternative to Squad, when in reality it's not. In fact, it's not even really a game. It's more of just like I guess as a meme, it's a platform oh my gosh, seriously, like it's so hard to talk about this because I'm stepping on someone's toes here probably.
But the best part is you're on mine and Buff's channel, so you're not even on your channel, so you could literally just get super toxic, and then Buff and I have to deal with the comments, so you just let it go.
Yeah, it's just, again, so like, and the thing is, I know some of the devs and I know the team behind it, some of those guys, and I signed NDAs to test out the game, and I never participated in the test, but it's basically it's either you hate the game, like I said in my title, you either hate the game or you love the game, or you're in the middle, like I think most of us are, because while we appreciate the work and the idea of releasing a game for free, no microtransactions, no battle passes, no predatory monetization,
right,
you also had to look at it from just a gamer's perspective of someone who doesn't know who Blue Drake is, hears free alternative to Squad, and goes on Steam, looks it up, sees it's on mixed reviews, and either one, downloads it to test it out themselves, or two, doesn't even give it a second look and just leaves.
Yeah.
So I think right now, their max top peak was like 2,400 players, which is for a small team, it's pretty good. But the marketing behind it was also just, it's a game. This is a game, our free game. When in reality, I feel like it's more of just like, hey, here's a huge modding tool for you guys to use. Do what you want with it. And modders are probably looking at that like, yes, thank you for giving me open access to your SDK and to your core kit. But then again, gamers are like, man, this game has nothing that Squad doesn't already have. But then even then, you start to look back at like Squad back in the day of when they first started, and they were barely a game at that point, you know, compared to what it is now. So it's a lot of back and forth between players right now. I, for one, love the mods so far. I think there's some really cool. I know, like we were talking about it earlier before the show started. Like there's like the Black Hawk Down, like 90s era Rangers, the Mogadishu guys, and then there's a 90s Navy SEAL mod that's pretty cool. There's a Halo mod that a good friend of mine, G-Man, is making, and I made a whole video like showcasing that. It just like the work that's going into the mods already is awesome. Amazing. So it's more of just like, let's just sit and wait and see what happens with the game. We'll give it some time. They got the feedback now because they opened it to a lot more players. So let's see what they do with that feedback. But then on top of that, you have Blue Drake, and I get it. He is OHD, and I think Fry said that the best because it's his baby, type of deal. So it's hard to get negative criticism pretty much to your baby. You probably understand that being a new dad, Crash. Someone said your baby looks like shit. It's just like, hey, bro, let me make a YouTube video about that real quick. But and then again, he made a video explaining how to give constructive criticism was the title of his YouTube video. And it was like a 30-minute long video. Plus he put it on the community tab on the store page. So it's like he's just adding gasoline to the fire of what's already people are being so divided on and have really harsh either, like negative concerns about it. It's it's again, I will say what's wrong with the game, or what needs work, I should say, is bots. In my opinion, people want to play this as a single player game. They can, but the bots are very basic. They just follow like single paths along the maps pretty much. And that's all they do. You're not going to get like Ready or Not AI, but I mean, they're just there to fill the space. And if you're playing single player, that's all you see, So again, the cool parts about it though, you have different eras. You have Vietnam, you have, Gulf War, you have Cold War, you have more modern, private military contractors and insurgents. You have World War I, World War II. That's a lot of games don't do that. So, credit to where credit's due. But someone also mentioned it, like it's like building a house. If the foundation isn't there, the house is going to crumble. And the foundation, in my opinion, wasn't there.
I would say, as an outsider that has a very rudimentary understanding of the game, where it essentially does,
which is really like who I'm talking about, is like if you're just looking at it and you don't know what the game is about, how do you see the game itself?
Yeah. So I watched just a couple videos that Blue Drake did talking about it because I wanted to know what it was, and I just want to say, like, his reason for making this game is incredibly admirable. Like,
yes, for sure, 100%.
I totally believe what he says. He wants to put tools in the hands of maybe aspiring developers. He wants to get away from predatory monetary practices. And at the end of the day, no matter what you think of the game, you can't fault the man for doing that, because I think his convictions are incredibly admirable. So
I think that's getting buried right now.
Yeah, and that should be talked about. Everything you say should be under that caveat. And then on the opposite end, I'm worried about it, right? Because I see what you're saying. Like, somebody's going to say, oh, this is Free Squad. They're going to look at the trailer like, oh, mashing that all together. And then a casual person is going to open that game and be like, what am I supposed to do? Like, what? I have to make my own game? Yeah. Exactly. And then also you kind of find out about, he said, if you do want it, well, even the people that want to do that, maybe they want to run a server or something, or get some people to play, make their own games and play multiplayer. If you build a game that runs on a server, you have to pay for it. So then you do have to pay for your own server to run a game. I saw that. And I was just like, man, I don't know if many people are going to want to do that. But what I do see is I see it having probably a pretty small community, but an incredibly passionate one. And there's going to be a few people that make some insane shit with it. Like,
I can't wait to see what comes out of that for sure.
So somebody's gonna make something cool. They're gonna keep adding to it. I think it's gonna have a really small but super passionate community with it, and there's gonna be some really cool stuff come out of it. But I just don't see it hitting with the masses, and that's probably not what it's for. But I hope that core group is enough to keep it going and to see where it goes.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. You got anything to say about that, Buff?
I mean, I always thought it was like, when you asked me what I think it is, I mean, it's like, it looks like the modding tool. Like, I've been following him, Blue Drake, and the game itself. So I like that concept of like, hey, here's all the tools, build stuff. I think this goes to the conversations we've had here on the show, Crash, for a while, about kind of the future of gaming. Is like, is this almost this live service modding type thing? So I think this is gonna, like you said, Blue, I think we need to wait a couple months and see where this game is at that point, because the stuff I've seen just the past week since it was released is crazy. I mean, I was watching footage of that Halo mod. it's crazy.
And the thing, this was getting developed even before it went public. This was like in private test. People were making helicopters and
people put helicopters in it and they're not even in the game. Like, you can
and that's again, that's the whole negative portion of that. It's like, yeah, it's a cool concept, but until it gets into people's hands and it's easier to just load up, maybe if you do need to load up a mod, because even now originally, in order to get the mods, you needed to go to the website, download the file, make a mods folder in the game files, and it was more of a process. As to now, they have the Steam Workshop where you could just press subscribe and boom, you have the mod.
Right.
But even then, there's still issues now where you still need to drag that file that you downloaded from Steam over to your mods folder, because it's still having some issues, I guess, communicating or something with the servers and stuff like that. So there's issues with the game still. There's spawn camping is a huge thing. Hackers are a thing as well too, especially because if it's a free game, and there's no easy there's no anti-cheat at all.
Well, and essentially, right, like it's super open for modding. Like, you almost get like the source code, so you can do literally anything with it. So people are going to be able to make cheats for it incredibly easy. I don't know. People suck sometimes. I guess the
know what, I saw a video YouTube recommended me. It was like Operation Hard's Doorstop cheats, and then the guy was like in the comments responding as to like why he was cheating, and he said that people have to have fun in games. I don't know, this fucking basement dweller, just
they have to have fun. I don't get it.
Yeah, like, it's like that. If that's how you find your fun in the game, it's I don't know, it's fucking stupid.
Yeah. I don't get it. No one gets that.
That's yeah. So I mean,
I guess
just gotta wait. We just have to wait.
If I was gonna slap a Crash's patented metaphor on this thing, I would say it feels like an IKEA desk. So you see the trailers and it looks really cool, or you see like the IKEA desk and you do the little app and you can see what it looks like in your room, and then you go pick it up and it's just like a shitload of parts, and you're like, I have to build this from scratch. I
thought it came like this.
Yeah, that like letdown that you have when you see all the assembly required to use the desk. So you have the assembly required to play the game. You see what I'm going?
Or it's like the whole it was like get a pack of scissors but you got to open it with a pack of scissors.
Right. There's a can opener inside the can. Good luck.
Someone even another metaphor was like, look at it like a pack of Legos. It's not. There's no. You get like a cool Lego design set. Okay, cool. You can build this, but you can build it however you want. So, but again, I like the house idea more because it just needs a better foundation. Just the bit, because like,
gotcha.
Even games themselves that do have modding, like, were then like, take Arma 3 for example. Like, the base game was there. It had a solid foundation before modding wasn't put into the game.
Right. Same with like Insurgency. Yeah, a lot of those games that we've covered.
Yeah, so that's what was it? Someone mentioned that too. Like, and even then, like I feel like mods, like someone Moy Dog made a video and he was trying to load into a server that had mods, but then he couldn't because he didn't download it. So then when he went to go download it, it was the Halo mod himself, and he went to go download it, and when he launched it back up, it crashed. Then he tried to launch it back up again. He re-verified the files. It crashed again. You know, and it's like, why can't we just have a system where, like Sandstorm, it just downloads the mods for you?
Right.
Dang.
So just a lot of
Steam Workshop to work better.
Just a lot of oof moments.
Yeah. maybe it'll get there. Hopefully.
Yeah, and that's the thing. So someone said it's like, oh, God, there's a video saying that you don't need to learn how to code to build mods for this game. And from what I'm seeing, I beg to differ. You need to maybe learn some semblance of it.
Yeah, I haven't looked at what that's looking like. I know I haven't
looked at the core kit. I know people
maybe it's C++ or I don't know what it is.
I don't know what the SDK looks like. My opinion. I know like games like Metro Exodus just released their entire SDK.
Oh, okay.
And now people are gonna be able to mod that game, but then again, that was a full-fledged game.
Right. Years that's been out for quite a while.
And they're like, oh, now you can mod whatever you want.
But I do like that Blue Drake was also saying that, hey, we're throwing this, like I watched this video the other day, like, hey, we're putting all this out there, and if you come up with something cool or you have good ideas, like message us, and most likely if you come up with a mod, like one of the developers and or myself are looking at it and probably giving you, like, reaching out and giving feedback, and what are you thinking about this, okay. And so it seems like, in my opinion, it seems like a new take on early access, but also
it is.
Yeah, and I'm not against that, especially from a small, this is a small startup studio. So I think it's a good idea. So what's end game Operation Doorstop look like? And that's something that's a couple of years away, I feel, but it allows for good community feedback to come in and really, it's going to be a game driven by the community instead of, you look at something like Call of Duty, you get a lot
higher ups making decisions.
Higher ups, and then you get like a lot of decisions are based on your top streamers, things like that, your creators. This top is just going to be, this is mainly like everyone from the community who cares enough about the game is giving either modding or giving the right feedback or talking to the developers, and they're going to be receptive to that feedback. So
I think that's what you said earlier, Crash. Like this, it's going to be a really small core community, and I think they'll make some pretty incredible stuff.
Maybe that's what he wanted. Maybe that's the end goal. Maybe
and to be honest, I don't know what's going on in his brain.
Well, also, maybe all of that, like maybe 3 years down the road, that dev team in that studio takes all of that feedback and all of those mods and comes out with like version 2. Yes. And that would be essentially like, the cool. full-fledged release or something. I like that idea. So I think it's a good concept.
But people gotta also, it's like, and then it's like, I was gonna say, because I almost fell for not for the trap, but like, but it's free. But that's not, an excuse for games to have missing features,
Yeah, and I look at it from it. We've talked.
But he said he did it on purpose.
Yeah, and that's when we had Jim on Crash. We talked kind of about like the the agile method of project management. This is a very agile game. This is you try first, fail first. Let's put it out there and build and see what works, see what doesn't work. Don't be afraid to fail. They're making a lot of changes, feedback. So this is, I think, from a development perspective, game perspective, this is a step in the right direction. I wish more studios would do stuff like this, but to your point, there's definitely going to be some cons to it, and I think this is really, in my mind, one of the first projects I've had my eye on that's kind of doing it this way. So correct. I think it can definitely be refined. A year down the road, a couple months down the road, I'm sure that dev team will do retrospectives, things like that, and try and see what worked, what didn't work. What kind of control do we want to give to the community in the future, etc. So I think we'll just have to wait and see. Like you said, we'll see what it turns into.
I agree. It's in its very much its infancy. It's
Yeah,
got a
absolutely.
long way to go,
Mm-hmm.
and it's going to be interesting to see what people come up with. I just don't see it. Like, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news. I just don't ever see it being like a mainstream big viral game, as hard as it is to get into it. And
Well, and that genre is already such a niche genre, anyways.
Right.
I mean,
yeah,
games like, yeah.
people watch the videos, but they don't play the games.
Which we've talked about that. We've
yeah.
talked about that again before too. It's like, but potentially one of those things is only something like this is only available on PC. So all of those like tactical hardcore milsim shooters you can only get on PC. And what's the percentage of gamers that have PCs? You know, something like this.
It's already a smaller audience, and then you're cutting it even smaller.
Exactly. So like if you had all of these milsim tactical shooters that we've talked about here, things like Direct Contact, Ready or Not, Operation Harsh Doorstop, Ground Branch, if those were all available, Tarkov, if those were all available for everybody on every platform, I think your player counts change exponentially.
But I mean,
and I think that's what we were. Yeah.
Do you guys know anybody though that plays Armor Reforger on console?
Exactly.
Well,
but I think
there's
even
a big difference between
like,
that and Arma 3. I feel.
But even Armor Reforger, I feel like it isn't the same.
Isn't this similar to Armor Reforger? Like
I was gonna say, yeah, it's kind of in the same umbrella. I feel like because it's. You look at Reforger now, and there's so many cool mods coming out for it right now. You know, literally remaking the game in their own vision. So I kind of feel like it's the same way, except you paid for Armor Reforger, if I believe so. Right? Did you pay for Armor Reforger?
Right? Well, it was also. I
never played it.
And it was only Xbox when it first came. Like I still don't know if it's available on PlayStation, but I do think. I mean, I wasn't impressed with the visuals of Reforger, whereas Harsh Doorstop, I think for what it is, I think it looks really, really good.
And see, and I would on certain maps I would beg to differ on that. Like some of the that World War II castle, like the thing on the hill or something like that, like the textures on the wall.
Okay.
Really bad.
Do they? Okay.
It's the only thing that helps I feel like is the lighting sometimes in certain situations, but it's not something that blows my mind out the water. I think Reforger looks better in certain aspects.
Does it? Okay. Yeah. I'll take your word for it because I haven't played either. I just watched.
Yeah, but again, more playing OHD, but watching Reforger, and I've watched a lot of people play Reforger, especially now with like there's like Ranger mods now for Reforger and helicopters and actual PEC systems and all kinds of cool stuff. Yeah, Monte Casino. Yeah, it's not the oh god. And then the AI shoots you from across the map. It's very annoying. So again, like I said, like the Halo mod is cool. It sounds cool. I'm like running around. I'm hearing like Master Chief saying, "I need a weapon," just or what was the sergeant's name in Halo? Forgot his name. Why I'm forgetting his name.
My brain doesn't work.
Beats me. I'm a
place. No, but he's like making jokes the entire time. It's it's funny. So,
what do you say we get into some quick shots?
Ready,
dude. The first quick shot is what we forgot to talk about at the beginning of this show. We forgot to talk about that leak. So let's just cover that really quick.
Let's do it.
It's trash show. So yeah, in the leaked documents from Insider Gaming, Tom Henderson actually spoke with the person who got the information. They were leaked by VX Underground, and they corroborated it. So essentially what happened is, on top of potentially some personal information of Activision employees, this breach also let us know what is coming for the entire year ahead for Call of Duty. It gives the dates. Season 3 starts on March 15th. 4 is starting on May 15th. Season 5 is July 17th. And there's going to be a Season 6 starting on September 15th. So then this kind of tells us that this game is potentially not going to... The cadence of the season maybe tells us that it is not going to be a 2-year game, like a lot of people originally thought. We're talking about Modern Warfare 2. And then it goes on to talk about mid-season reloaded updates for every season. And this all, again, guys, this all comes from a hack, a breach, security breach into Activision computers. As per operating model that we've all come to know, however, just the schedule itself wasn't enough to reveal a stack of it was enough to reveal a stack of Call of Duty content coming in 2023. My brain's not working. But essentially, it tells everything that's coming. So we can say, I thought the big headline thing here was 7 core maps, some of which will likely contain rehashes of older maps that we're expecting. So it seems like in the entire 2023 life cycle, they have 7 core maps slated for the game.
Okay, and then also, I threw it there in chat. Like March 15th seems so soon. That's literally a month after season 2. So I'm like I really want to see if that's accurate, because like season 2 came out February 15th, so we're saying March 15th, so literally 1 month. So that means season 2 Reloaded would have to be March 1st.
I wonder if that is the Reloaded. I wonder if the season 3 is the Reloaded.
Yeah, because that would be the quickest season ever. Yeah, I think you're right.
I don't know. This might be.
I don't know. I'm wondering also. You got to think with like leaks, how up to date is that information? But it seems to me, I would be shocked, because that means 15 days later it would be season 2 Reloaded, which is usually a pretty big deal, unless they just don't really technically drop an official Reloaded and they just like bring out that new weapon and new map. I don't know how it's gonna work. That's kind of suspicious to me. It doesn't seem right.
That's sus. And I didn't notice that.
I want to know, and I'm curious if Tom Henderson said anything about that, because usually, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say they said they corroborated it with other sources. So, but yeah, that doesn't make sense at all. I don't. Something's up there.
Usually the seasons are 2 to 3 months, right. And we're talking. This is saying that it's going to be 1 month. I mean, I'm all for it, because I want that SR-25 quicker, and I'll take the next batch of weapons. So like I'm game, but it just seems. Maybe they're doing that because season 2 got delayed. If that is the case, I really want to see what happens with that.
Yeah, that's right, Squid. In chat, you should just look at the battle pass countdown and see where that ends up. But that does seem sus. So yeah, essentially, let's just talk about this real quick, because this is probably terrible. Man, I feel stupid. So then. The Haunting of Saba event for Halloween, then the rest of this stuff you could actually just say, like, I mean, you could just expect, because that's what it's been like for the last several games. So this, I mean, This really isn't earth shattering. 1 licensed operator every season, which means a collaboration or crossover. That's how it's been. More gunfight maps, spec ops missions, raids, and tier 1 events starting from season 3. That's to be assumed. This leak is bullshit. 1 small map arriving with season 4, which should be a similar experience to Shipment. And at least 70 per season bundles in the store. Yeah. The other thing, I guess, that was of note that probably isn't even real is the the next Call of Duty is allegedly going to be called Jupiter GL or Project Jupiter. And I wanted to get your take on this, because you talked about those different management systems with like getting stuff done, you know, in like the agile method or like all that stuff. I didn't know if that's what these GL4s meant. So Jupiter GL4, it gives the dates. Jupiter Alpha, we all kind of know what an alpha is, May 26th to the 2nd of June. And Jupiter GL5, are those some kind of like sprints or like schedule windows, or do you know what the GL?
It's not.
Grenade launcher?
Yeah, it's not ringing a bell for me right now. It's obviously probably an acronym for something that I'm not thinking of. Interesting, and I do. Yeah, it's not ringing a bell for me. I know people were saying like, "Oh, it's Project Jupiter. It's going to be futuristic," and then there's a guy over on Twitter who gives really good information. I follow Game Over, and he was saying. He referenced something he thinks is a code name. It's just obviously a code name that we see with all these, but referring to the god, not like the planet. People were saying, "Oh, we're going to Jupiter," blah blah blah. But that could be something there too. So obviously, it's a code name. It's not going to actually be called "We're going to Jupiter" Call of Duty.
We're going to space.
Yeah. So. But GL, yeah, I mean, it could be like seasons. Who knows? I mean, I feel like it's chat. No, there's something grenade launcher. Yeah, I don't know. There's something. It's an acronym for something like obvious that I feel like I'm missing right now.
I'm not sure. I have to give Jacob in my chat one of these. He said, "Wait till
Johnson.
Wait till they get to Uranus." I mean, I'm up for a butt.
There's a town like that called Uranus, by the way.
There is.
Yeah, there is. I saw that on like a Comedy Central show or something. So the next quick shot, was going to talk about is the Battlefield 4 season was announced with a new specialist. Buff is going to be diving headfirst into this game.
I'll be honest, man. The EA knows how to make trailers, man. EA knows how to make trailers.
The trailers hard carry.
God
dude.
damn it! It got me. I think Buff saw. I think you like tweeted or commented on like Tacti's tweet. Yeah, and I was like, God damn it, they got me back. And I like redid my EA play for the month again just to kind of get back into it. And I'll say, man, I've actually been having a lot more fun on Battlefield lately. In the Portal, I would say too. Just like I was like, one of them was like Afghanistan War Sim or something like that. But it was like, you know, decent stats, and even just the base game itself. The fact that they brought classes back, and I'm actually genuinely impressed.
I'm definitely going. I am going to reinstall for sure, because I mean I can talk about it now. Like Tempor reached out to me a month or two ago and was running all the weapons that he saw coming for this season by me, and he had them mostly mapped out, and then we talked about some of them, and that RM277 is that General Dynamics bid from the Next Generation Squad weapon program.
Ooh, that's cool. I like that.
Lost to the SIG Spear, but they're bringing that in, and that thing's awesome.
Even though, because the SIG's kind of already in there.
Yeah, it's in there as the M5, which is what it's going to be called in real life anyways. But the General Dynamics one, that bullpup build, I love how that thing looks. I was always a fan of that and kind of a proponent of wish to God.
We don't do bull up in America.
So it was a badass gun. So I'm glad they're adding it, and they got you got the shotty, some of the APC 9s. So I'm pretty pumped. I want to jump back in.
What are you looking at like that, Crash?
Dude, your voices got like super robot-y and like slow, like roar, and I don't.
Am I good now? Am I good now?
Yeah, it sounds good now.
Yeah?
I don't know if people in chat heard. Did you guys hear that? That was
maybe
weird.
I'll do it again. We don't do bull pumps in America. There you go.
That was scary. It really happened in chat. I think people are saying it actually happened. That was messed up. Wow. I want to go back and watch that. That's weird. Okay.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I have an actual in real life voice changer, by the way, just letting you guys know. So.
That's so cool.
Okay, yeah.
I'm gonna go
it's
back
so funny how it happened as soon as I said that. God damn it, they're finding I'm a robot in real life. No. My secret. But no, season 4, dude. I'm actually I'm pumped for it, man.
It does look good.
Thank you for the super chat. Asking 2042 support ending after season 5. I think season 5 will probably be the last one, because they said there's going to be, this is the last specialist. I think it's going to be similar to what they did after the Pacific update with Battlefield 5, where they dropped one more map and said, see you later.
I don't know. I mean, I think it's pulling off of Battlefield 5 right now.
I think it's going to do that. So anyway, as far as this goes, I guess Battlefield as a whole, 2042, I would say, just to sum it up really quick, as a first-person shooter game in today's climate, it's pretty good. It plays pretty well. When you put it up against the other games, the other Battlefield games, nah, man.
Nah, damn. And yeah, that's the thing.
True.
We'll take anything at this point. It feels like, because of just how crappy the industry is with these games. So it's just give us something good, give us something decent, and we'll play it for a few hours. Even if I get a few hours out of it, like I still haven't bought it to this day. I've only done just the EA Play Pro or EA Play Now for like the $4.99 a month just to like test it. Because I have like maybe 10 hours, less than 10 hours in a game.
So yeah, that's smart. So some of the content coming, you get the one new map, woohoo, yay! You get the new recon specialist. It looks like she has kind of like a, I don't know what you would call it. Like,
what was that exactly?
It disables like electronics and being able to get spotted and stuff in a certain radius. So it's kind of like an EMP grenade from Thatcher in Rainbow Six, but it's kind of permanent within the radius of that.
Bringing out the Rainbow Six again. Here we go.
So there's going to be a quick, dude. We're going to talk about Rainbow here in a minute before we call it a day. Then you had a new vehicle, the new gadget, a sticky grenade launcher, which I think is terrible. And then there's that RM68, AC9, the Super 500, and the RPT-31 new weapons.
And I think that RPT is the It's the RPL 20, that new Russian LMG we talked about the other week. So that's pretty sick. A lot of good. These are good guns, man. These are good guns.
Doing research.
The most guns they've added. The most guns they've added to the game yet. So
Buff knows all the guns.
Yeah, I do. That's what I do, man.
You got
literally no research was done. I just knew that shit off the top of my head.
Just saw it. Yeah.
Did you really?
No, yeah, legit, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm serious.
Gun knowledge.
Weapon expert.
Yeah.
So yeah, then you have a couple new skins. You got that, and then I like how they're saying the class system is back. Like they're still advertising that. That should have been there a lot.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, wait, wasn't that you guys already did that? And
then they're gonna finish the discarded map, so they're gonna try to finish that map, and then Desert Scorpion, cool stuff in the store, which they've announced that twice. And the new Vault weapons, SVD, and a Type 88 LMG coming from older games, which you won't be able to progress and get camos for, and it won't have the attachments. Okay, so it does have attachments, but you can't get any camos for it. So yeah, I'll probably talk more about that in the future, like after it releases, and I'll probably play it.
I think when it comes out,
a little bit 2042, but it's been announced, so I just wanted to do like a quick talk about it, but we'll check it out too. There were a couple new. There were 2 more weapons that aren't on here that are coming too. I can't exactly remember what they were. I think it might be. Whatever. There's 2 more weapons coming. Hope you're happy. All right. The next thing I wanted to talk about is I'm gonna do it to you. Rainbow Six Siege. Just really fast because I don't know anybody who plays it, but man, I love this game.
Dead game.
And they just had get real. I'll try to make it quick. They just had their world championships at esports, and it was really, really good matches and cool to watch. They announced their year 8 roadmap. So this game is still getting supported pretty well into year 8, which is pretty cool.
Pretty good.
And again, the seasons come every 3 months. Pretty much like clockwork for a really, really long time. So definitely appreciate that. New operators every season. They're reworking a map in season 2. They're adding Quick Match 2.0, a new map. They're revamping just tons of new stuff. This new season coming up, they're doing a new immersive reload, which is kind of cool buff. If you try to cancel your reload, it will leave the magazine out on the ground, and so if you have a closed bolt gun, it'll keep one in the chamber.
Okay.
So even while you're like reloading or something and cancel, you can at all times shoot one.
Yeah, just one like round. It's stage reloads, just like Sandstorm. I love that. Sandstorm does the same thing.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, exactly.
So cool. Love it.
So they're adding that.
That's sick, actually.
Which is pretty cool.
I like the detail.
And then another really big thing is that's been a huge problem for the console community. There's people using spoofers to, like Zims and stuff to be able to use keyboard and mouse on a controller-only game. There's a new algorithm and a completely new thing that they've been collecting data on for a long time to hopefully get people that use those devices banned, which I think is huge because I don't know if COD would do it, but if some other games would do that, if there's some of that technology out there that can catch people using stuff like Cronus's and things like that, maybe this is the start to catching those people. Which would be super, super, super awesome. The new op that's coming this next season drives a little drone around that can hack enemy devices. So you can drive it around and basically, so if there's like Capcan traps or anything on a door, which is essentially like a claymore, you can hack that, and so now it will kill the other team, the original team that plays it. That's pretty cool. So that's going to be pretty fun. What can be done with that, and then I'm trying to think what else. There was a lot of other stuff that probably no one cares about other than me. The new cinematic they did was crazy. It was super crazy.
Yeah.
But they're doing a bunch of operator reworks and stuff too. I don't know, Buff. When I messaged you that, did you check it out? I have it on here. People probably don't care too much about the war.
Yeah, I thought it looked awesome.
I love it.
It's funny, the cinematic, speaking of that, it got recommended to me again on YouTube, the original like E3 teaser release with the hostage and stuff like that. And just seeing the difference, man. What, from what it originally looked like to now. And again, I would be a little bit more upset if Ready or Not wasn't a thing, but since Ready or Not is a thing now, I'm okay. Like, that's pretty much what I wanted.
I get that argument. Like, the immersion in Siege is like fairly gone, right? Like there's crazy gadgets that don't exist and silly stuff. But at the same time, I think a competitive
I'm not saying it's not a bad game. And like you said, the audience that shows up for those esports tournaments is insane. In fact, the green field that I'm going into to like start teaching is esports. So I'm gonna have to start like really catching up on those tournaments, especially with Rainbow Six.
I get hyped up watching these trailers, man. They're so cool.
Yeah,
but the cinematics.
They have really good cinematics, though. They have really good. Was it just Ubisoft in general, though? It's really good at that.
Yeah, they're really cool. And then I'm trying to think of what else.
You're like getting into it.
I know. I'm just watching it. I'm just watching this. I'm supposed to be dogging.
I'm watching it too. It's actually pretty cool looking. I'll be honest. It's got me. Sweet. I'll take a break real quick and just watch. Everyone, even people watch, listening, even to the guy listening on Spotify, just go ahead, just look it up real quick. Yeah. We'll watch it together.
Yeah. All right. If you're driving in your car, pull over. But no, anyway, the thing about it is that I say to those people, I totally get it. Like, it's completely changed the vibe, right? Like, it used to be kind of an immersive tactical thing. I think a game that's going on 8 years without some of these farther out gadgets that really change the meta would be incredibly stale. I think they
because then who knows, like, for games like Ready or Not, where is it going to be? And I don't know if I can see this game really garnering a bigger audience in 8 years. In fact, maybe not even 5.
Yeah, it's probably. I mean, it has probably peaked, but it is still one of those games that has way more people than played it at launch. Like it's grown overall, and it's kind of dropped from where it was in 2020, and kind of plateaued now. I think that's just because the learning curve at this point is stupid. Like, it's so complicated to learn. But I think the people that are in it this far are probably going to play it as long as they keep supporting it. But
in the long run, Again, I tried getting into it like 3 years ago, and I was already like, oh, this is intimidating. I'm good. Never mind.
Yep. For the people that say they're saddened that it kind of went, kind of more sci-fi with some of the gadgets and things, I get it, but I just don't think they had a choice to keep people that enjoy the competitive aspect of it enjoying the game, because it would have got really, really, really stale. So yeah, I'll shut up about it. You're welcome. We're talking about Siege. The next quick shot is something that I don't know a lot about other than what's on Twitter, so I really shouldn't be talking about it, but I'm going to anyway because it's never stopped me before. I wanted to talk a little bit about the Tarkov RMT bans that are getting out of hand. And I know I told you guys last week we were going to have Art on here. He had some stuff come up last minute, wasn't going to make it. He was part of some of the controversy last week about people using LUTs to make the game look better, getting banned. But what they've actually done now is they're starting to ban actual streamers. So there's a thing that they do in a lot of streams. A lot of content creators will do what's called viewer kits. So they'll ask for people to do viewer kits. They'll join them in the raid. The people will spawn in, give them the kit, and then run off and die. But it's just like people can make like silly guns and stuff and make the streamer, try to go through a raid with whatever kit. So they're actually banning those people now for getting boosted and calling it RMT. So they're banning a lot of content creators. They're kicking them out of their content creator programs, a lot of larger ones. And then people are getting banned. They have new anti-cheat measures that set that off to where people are dropping stuff for their friends. Like, it's just part of Tarkov, right? Like, hey, I found this. Do you need it for raid? And people who are doing that quite a bit are bringing somebody in something that they need for their hideout for their friend, and they're just getting banned. And people don't know exactly what the parameters are about how much stuff you can transfer because they're trying to stamp out RMTs, real money transactions. That's people. Man. So if you go on eBay, you can actually find people selling Tarkov items. Like, if you need something for your hideout, you need something super crazy, you can buy it on there. Those people will get into a raid with you and drop you the item. So they're trying to stamp out real money transactions. I would argue, of all the people that I've talked about, or talked with about Tarkov and where it's at and why they're not playing it, I have never heard anyone say it's because of RMTs. And they're going so hard with this RMT like approach to try to knock it out that they're harming innocent people. And I think false bans are way worse than having those people still out there playing.
False ban is worse than getting killed by a hacker.
Yeah, I agree. You can't have it. Like you just it's not.
Especially if you're someone who's like supported the game. Like I know a buddy of mine actually did that where he supported the game enough where he bought me a copy back in 2016 whenever he bought other friends. I mean, he literally spent hundreds of dollars just buying copies for his friends and being such an avid supporter, and then he got falsely banned and had to go through a huge back and forth of BSG support, and to the point where at the end of it just left the sour taste in his mouth that he's like, you know what? Anyone who talks about this game, I'm recommending they don't play it.
Yeah, they've alienated a lot of people. They've had a lot of people. They kicked a bunch of people out of their Sherpa program. They're changing that. There's one creator I know, that friendly guy. He has incredible content where he goes through entire wipes without shooting a weapon. He just VoIPs people, have them help him out, and he drops them like bitcoins and stuff for helping him out. So
imagine now.
Yeah, he's screwed. He won't be able to do that. His account's going to get banned, so he won't be able to do that play style anymore.
You know what? I've noticed that with BSG a lot. They want you to play the game how they want you to play. And that goes back to like
there's so many cheaters.
Exactly. They're focusing on the wrong aspect. That they'll ban anyone for like when the whole single player mod came out for that, boom, banned if you ever showcase that, or copyright claimed completely by BSG. They're picking the wrong battles, and they just keep digging themselves in the deeper and deeper hole every time they do something like this. It's just they are so lucky that they are the only one right now that has such a grip on extract games, on hardcore tactical extract games. And that's why there's so many clones coming out and so many people trying to pry for that top spot.
Yeah,
I'm just not a fan of BSG and the way they
do some incredibly questionable stuff, and it's kind of sad, to be honest. So, yeah, I just wanted to mention that. I'm not super well versed into it, but I mean, just Tarkov Twitter has just been like the community has just been ripped in half.
It's literally, I think it's still trending. Yeah, it's been trending for like 2 days.
Yeah, the Tarkov Twitter lately, between the LUT getting banned and the bans going out for this, and then everybody's still dying to invisible players, people flying all over the map. There's like literally an invisible player glitch where it happens and you're not even trying to do it. You're not even trying to hack the game or cheese it or do the exploit, and you're just invisible. So like you have all this stuff going on, and you still can go into the flea market and look and see somebody selling 15 GPUs. And it's like, really? Like, how'd you get those? And those people are still selling it, farming rubles and stuff. And people like, you have all these problems. The netcode is the worst it's ever been. The audio is the worst it's been in a really long time. You have all these problems with the AI and the scavs doing ridiculous things, one-shotting you across the map.
Scavs, dude.
And you have all this stuff going on, and we're worried about, falsely banning streamers for doing viewer kits. It's like, why are you worrying about this? Like, you should kind of prioritize.
The resources should not be going to
right. You should prioritize your resources in like the biggest problem first, and that's not what they're doing. So it's just weird. It's a weird thing. All right then. I don't know if we have a lot of time left. The episode kind of went long. Do you want to call it, or I don't know if we have time for chat Q&A. It's up to you guys.
I mean, I got some nachos on the way.
Yeah, I don't think I have time, honestly.
I don't think I do either. This kind of went a little long. Sorry, guys. Probably no chat Q&A today. I don't want to get into the 2-hour mark and respect everybody's time. I had a lot of fun, man. That was some good shit. I enjoyed talking about it. I hope I didn't say anything stupid because I don't really remember it.
No.
What we talked about.
That was good stuff. It's a great show.
Yeah,
a lot of fun.
We won't mention that one thing.
I'll read it in the comments. But yeah, guys, thank you guys, everyone, for being here at my channel, Buff's channel, Twitch, Twitter, wherever you are. Thank you so much. Check out Blue's content. We appreciate him for joining. His link to his YouTube channel is in anywhere. We have a description.
Just BlueTheRobot everywhere.
Yeah. And I'm jealous you can get your tag everywhere you want.
Bro, can I just say something real quick? My Uber Eats driver said, "Good evening. Heading your way. Smells delicious." With like a really, this motherfucker better not buy my food.
Sir, where half my nachos? Good sir. Yeah. They tasted delicious too.
This got. Anyways,
delicious.
You'll really know when he hands you the bag and it's like, this is a little light, dude. Like, what's going on?
There better be some tamper tape on this.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, the warranty seal. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for being here. If you guys do want to support the podcast, you can listen to it on other platforms, as well as we don't ask you for any money or anything. Just be a friend, tell a friend, share it around, and hopefully we can continue to grow and continue to hang out with you guys on Mondays, because I do enjoy it a lot. I love talking to these guys and talking to you guys in chat as well. So we will hopefully all goes well. See you next week. And until then, bye, guys.
Peace. Bye.